Welcome, my beautiful souls. That's weird. It took my computer a minute to turn on. Um, but welcome, everyone. Today we are going to do a reading. I'm going to call it No Contact. Um, and the reason why I'm doing this reading is I had a lot of people. It's interesting. A lot of people reach out and ask me if I would do one. So I'm happy to oblige. I want to do the readings you really want to hear. So this is not no contact. So this is love. This is a love reading. Know that going in. Um, and I have a feeling I know why a lot of you were asking for this reading. December is a karmic month. So, it can certainly bring back karmic relationships, or if there's karma to be cleared, this is the month. Um, so this is a good month to do it. And keeping in mind that we're moving into that universal year one next year, which is a clean slate. And the more that we can take on, let's say, the fool's energy, which just means, free and clear, extracted the wisdom of my experiences, but where I am doing something that makes me happy. So I feel like what your guides are saying is don't leave yourself out of the equation. So this may be, I have a feeling that I'm doing this reading because for some, I feel like this may give you like the final clarity that you've been seeking. I have no clue what's going to come out, but I just have a feeling that it's going to be deep. It's going to be deep. So let's go ahead and settle in. Let's quiet our minds. Let's open our intuition. You could ask your guides to help open up your intuition. I feel like someone just said, how do I open my intuition? Relax. Try to have a quiet mind and just allow the reading to flow. That's why I love doing tarot, because it's like I am watching a new movie every time I do a reading, and it's your movie. So, anyways, I am asking 5 questions right to our spirit guides about this situation, about love, about whatever it may be. Um, and I'll tell you what they are as we go along. That way I don't have you like hanging on too long. So we're going to use the crystal vision. The question's going to be answered with the universal tarot, but the crystal vision and the gilded tarot will be the supporting energy. So anything that we need to know will come out. Just know that. I'm going to bring the lid down. Not too much. All right. So let me just quiet my mind. So the first question I'm asking our spirit guides, which definitely feel free to ask your spirit guides, who are here, by the way, to give you signs of confirmation. That's another way. If you have a hard time like trusting your intuition, ask your spirit guides, like, give me a clear sign that this is meant for me or a message is meant for you. Your spirit guides will oblige you. Trust me. So, the first question I'm asking is, what are their feelings for you right now? Wow. Hello, son. I mean, clear, happy, happy go lucky. I feel like you're someone who brings light into a situation, but they feel that. But I feel that also. So what they're feeling is the truth. Playfulness. And the sun is your illuminator also. The sun's like a brand new day. And I'm hoping that that's what it means for those. By the way, this can be karmic soulmates, or twin flames. It's love. It's just love. And let's just say the love isn't flowing the way that I feel that you would hoped it would flow. Or it's the other way around. So the sun. Let's see what comes above it. The Queen of Swords. So can be Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. I'm feeling it's your voice, your truth. And then the Four of Swords. Interesting. It's like someone here is a natural healer. You carry like I'm hearing healing hands. So that could be Reiki. That could be many things. Because I'm thinking massage. I could go for a massage right now. um, but this is what they think about you. So I feel like they see this person sees who you are. Um, it's interesting because I feel like there's a lot of respect for you. Now, I do feel like they may say, like she or he pretty much has their shit together. But boy, when they fly off the handle, they fly off the handle. And I feel like part of a situation was within the communication. I feel like something happened within the communication. Like there could have been a fight, and that fight could have been like, that's it, we're done. Um, but energetically, it does not feel done. It just doesn't. And I do feel that they have a lot of respect for you. Whether you do, again, I'm hearing like healing hands. So whether you do this for a living or it's just the natural healing part of you comes out, you make people feel good. You make people feel good. And I don't even feel like you have to try. And that's coming from your spirit team. All right, well, let's keep going. Because we may come back and do a little clarifying. I have the romance angels all ready to go. But I have some other decks ready to go too if we need them. So, what is their current view of you? So this is their feelings. Let's look at the view. Three of Pentacles. All work, no play. For some. You know what I love? Three of Pentacles really is the celebration of your individuality. So I get this feeling for some like there was an argument, and this argument could have ended a relationship, but I don't feel energetically that it's ended. And I do get the sense, and I know this is not for everyone, but for some of you, I feel like someone would say that, like all work and no play. And maybe they want you to be more playful. Um, and again, I know that's not everyone, but what I love about the Three of Pentacles is your individuality is being celebrated here. And it may be celebrated quietly. So there is true recognition of who you are. Even if there is a nasty fight, because I do feel that. I feel like someone is saying, and I'm going to say she, but it can be he. Like she can be so kind, so playful, so much fun. But man, you cross her, And she is the opposite. She is the opposite. She will cut you down with her words. But it's because they made you angry. All right, let's go above it. Page of Cups. It's like your inner child. Hmm. Temperance. Divine timing. Interesting. Card of Sagittarius, by the way. Sun is card of Leo. Um, so I kind of want you to forget the signs. So, temperance talks about patience. But it is about the patience is so let's say that this love is a love that has an opportunity to come back together. Well, I love that it's coming through temperance's energy. To me, that's divine energy. And divinely guided. So it feels like when the timing is right, the timing is right. I feel like they have a very spiritual view of you. Whether they themselves are spiritual, I don't know. I don't feel like you are. You know what I mean? Like, but there's nothing wrong with that. Like, I'm not feeling that, what you do, let's say in the world for a living, your career, um, I feel a lot of respect. And I feel like for someone out there, there's a project that you're working on. And that project, oh, and it's interesting because I'm picking it up under the Three of Pentacles, and it's a three, which is the month of December. It's a 3 month. So I get this feeling of someone is trying to finish something before the year ends. And it feels more career or creativity, that type of thing. I mean, it could be like painting your house. You know what I mean? But it's something that I do feel like I want to have it done before the year's end. It's like this person sees all sides of you, that happy part of you, that playful side of you, but also that very responsible part of you. And I get this sense of, because I feel like a lot of you here, I'm just going to call you natural healers, but I also get the sense of doctor, heal thyself. So working on my own wounds, and this is the time to do it. This is the time. And the sun is clarity. No matter what, it is clarity. Okay, let's keep going. Um, what actions are they currently thinking of taking? And divine timing down here, I feel like is part of the clue. I feel like how do I say this? Okay, it feels like there's something broken. It feels more energetic. And it may be like an old wound that needs healing. And I feel like this is an opportunity to heal that wound. Now, I don't even know that it's from them. I feel like this may be something that, you could have carried the majority of your life. So it could stem back to like your childhood, but it's something that still has a little bit of energetic effect. Um, and for some of you, it could show in like where I have a hard time trusting. Maybe I'm creating something and I want to release it to the world, but I have a hard time trusting that other people will even respond to it. They will. They will. because, and especially if it has anything to do with healing, then people will seek you out. And I know we're kind of getting off of love here, but in a way, I want you to understand that they know that about you. Okay. Um, oh, I already asked the question, didn't take any cards. What actions are they currently thinking of taking? The Hermit. Interesting. This is card of Virgo, first of all, but this is the representation of 2025. This talks about spiritual, first of all, someone is looking within their spiritual self. They're looking for spiritual clarity because this is about their actions. And, I get this sense that some of you, because you've been working, let's just say in the field of spirituality, however that may be for you, I feel like you awoken that part of them like I never thought about spirituality before until I met you. And I feel like right now they are in the reflection of the hermit. That means they are seeking wisdom. You're seeking the light. And by the way, the hermit right now is mirroring the sun. So if they're seeking light, and when I say light, I mean like the right way. Something that's, I feel like they're searching within themselves. Are you the one? I also love how the hermit's lantern is illuminating. You have two energies that are illuminating your individuality. Actually, both of your individualities. So I don't feel like I have people who need a lot of change. I feel like it's more about the understanding. Okay, well, let's go above that. Seven of Cups. Well, they're in decision mode. They're in decision mode. So, the Seven of Cups can feel chaotic. I don't know what to do. I'm not sure. But then the Hermit settles all that energy down, brings them within. So they will seek, if what their goal is you, then I feel like their spirituality will lead them to you. And again, they may not use that word. All right, let's go below. Look at that, the Two of Swords. Should I or shouldn't I? Do I or don't I? This person may have something that they know they need to change. And again, I don't really feel major, but it does feel like something that needs to change. And I feel like to be with you, they know they need to change this part of themselves. And even though there is a blindfold on in the Two of Swords, and that usually means there may be something I don't want to face. But the truth is, you do want to face it. And I'm really talking to them because facing it, let me put it a different way. I feel like when we wear this mask, again, there's something that we fear. We fear facing. And the longer we wear the mask, the bigger that monster seems. But then we take the mask off, and lo and behold, there's not even a monster. So I feel like that's what they have to look at is their thought system. And I also feel someone is saying that I know that if this reconnects, let me put it a different way. I feel like this person is making a decision. And don't forget, you have just as much say so here. But we're looking like in their perspective, I feel the decision why it seems somewhat hard is because I feel like if I reach out to you, then I want it to be forever. And am I ready for that? This is what they're seeking within. I feel like the love is there. So I already love you. And I feel like you are a strong woman or a strong man. And I know that I must be of a certain energy to keep your interest. So this isn't about you being desperate. To actually, it feels like you know what you want. I feel like you are proceeding, um, like you are, I feel like you're busy. You're doing your thing, you're creating, you're growing spiritually, probably by leaps and bounds. And and again, I feel like there's nothing, I'm not going to say there's nothing you would have to change because I feel like the one thing that so far is the only thing I picked up on was that sometimes, let's say in an argument, where usually you are, what's that saying? The sound of reason. Wow, when you're angry, I feel like it's the opposite, and it makes sense, right? We have polar opposites. So when you get mad, and you express it, and that may freak them out a little bit, or it did freak them out. But I also feel you don't just go off the handle for any reason. It's when you're pushed. It's like, I know my truth. And don't try to tell me that what I'm saying is not the truth. Okay. Um, where are we at? Number 4. So now we're talking about you and your current feelings towards them. And of Swords, not good. The Nine of Pentacles. That makes sense. The Nine of Pentacles being there. Look at this, the Eight of Swords. Wow. First of all, can I say that I feel like if this was a breakup, whatever time period that happened in between, I feel like many of you poured your energy into your creative house. And I feel like many of you are now seeing the fruits of your labor. The one thing I want to say is I feel like I have strong people here as it relates to their creativity and their spirituality. I feel like I have someone here who it's not that I need to have someone in my life, my love life. Would I enjoy that? Yes. But it's almost like it feels like an earth sign. But I'm more than happy being alone at the same time. Now, this Ten of Swords, it tells me that this was not the first time that there was a breakup and then a makeup. But the Ten of Swords means that you took the majority of the daggers. And that Eight of Swords, it's like, and then you created this wall, this protection. It is like you shut them out. But I don't blame you. But when you shut them out, I don't feel like you were in your bed crying. I feel quite the opposite. I feel like you're building a life for yourself. I feel like you feel stronger than you ever have as it relates to like your career, even the money that feels like it's going to start coming in. And it may come in like leaps and bounds, but I feel like where did you shut down? Your heart. Your heart. And I don't blame you. And I have to say, I'm not doing this reading to tell you, like, oh, you should take this person back. No, I'm doing it just to give you current energy because ultimately you have to make that decision. Um, but like, first of all, I feel proud of you because I feel like you went through those 10 swords. I feel like you gave someone multiple chances, opportunities. I do feel like they let you down. But part of me feels like because I feel like there was so much growth within you, and it may have been a time of solitude. You have two Virgo cards right here, and that can represent solitude. Even the Eight of Swords, right? Solitude from love. But the Four of Swords is here. So that should help heal this. And we will come back and look at that Ten of Swords. And no wonder they're wondering, I have a feeling they're wondering whether you would even accept them back. And I'll tell you one thing, and I'm speaking as you right now to them. Like, if you want to be in my life, there's certain requirements. Number one, I have to be able to trust you without doubt. You leave the house, I don't want to worry. Where are you going? I'm done with that energy. Things that came between us before, if you haven't reflected upon them, then my answer is naturally going to be no. Listen, I don't feel like this person comes in and, it may make you happy, but there also is some clearing that needs to happen. Definitely. And maybe even forgiveness if you choose to come back together. You know what I mean? Because I feel like I would have to be able to, number one, understand what those 10 swords represent. And, this person is in a state of submission. So they see these daggers coming. And even it's mirroring the sun. But this is exactly what I feel they are reflecting upon. Okay. Last but not least, the overall energy that's supporting this connection. And then I think we'll go back and do a little clarifying. So, the overall energy supporting this connection. Well, Six of Wands, victory and success. This is truly where someone is looking up to you. Well, it can be many looking up to you because of action steps you've taken. This is your victory. The Ten of Wands. Hmm. And look at that, the Hermit again. 2025. Very strongly represented. Interesting because the Hermit here is shining his beacon of light outwardly. Let me slide this down a little bit. There you go. I could actually slide these up. All right. Um, so interesting. The Hermit is mirroring the Ten of Wands. Ten of Wands speaks about heaviness, a lot of responsibility. It's kind of like pushing a boulder up a hill. I often feel the person in the Ten of Wands subconsciously is wishing for a tower because it's heavy energy. But I feel like you've overcome that. And I want to also say, I know this is a love reading, but I also want to say for some of you, I feel like you put so much energy within your creative house that I really feel like you're going to be blown away at what comes back to you in many different ways. So be proud of that. Be proud of that. And don't let that part of you go. And, as soon as I said that, I know that you won't. I know that you won't. So here you are sitting in this victorious state, right? But that's not with love, but with your money, or you're on your way. Um, it feels like, again, the healing part of you coming out, and other people may be seeking you. I feel like when we're doing spiritual work, um, I just feel like our guides naturally align us with the people who need to hear what we do or what have you. Like when I do a reading, I truly believe that they find the right person in their divine timing. So I just let go of control and just trust. I now want to call you the wise old soul. And I feel like this other person, I do feel like they're trying to catch up in a way, like spiritually. It's almost like they know. Well, they do know. They know what they've done. I feel like they have a block as it relates to love. So something, whether this lifetime, past lifetime, something that wasn't cleared. It's interesting because this person putting daggers in you, but I feel their confidence level is low. And it is like, if they so allow, I feel like their spiritual team is trying to build them back up, and it may have brought them, like, their spirit guides may have brought them to their knees because I feel like they needed to seek this clarity, but they are. They are. They may not even know why. All right, let's look at the bottom of the decks. Seven of Pentacles. Beautiful. Well, hello, Empress. Oh my gosh. Hello, Magician. So this is 2026. We have 2025. And it's interesting because the very last card, the Hermit, and 2025 being represented by the Hermit. 2026 represented by the Magician. Powerful. And look at you in the Empress's energy. No wonder this person knows. Like, if, oh, look at that. The wheel. Destiny. Which really is like the Seven of Pentacles. Seven of Pentacles is your tree of life. These are your soul seeds of intentions. Some of them pre planted, and some you're planting right now. Like we should always be planting seeds. Let me tell you, whoever is here, I feel let's say that you like you've wanted to start a business. Everything is supporting that. And again, I know this is a love reading, but man, do your guides want you to know like you have the ability, or let me put it a different way. When you walk out of 2026, you walk out a completely different person. Now, I feel like you entered 2026 as the Empress's energy. What does that mean? Well, number one, that you're using your creativity. I see it everywhere. They see it everywhere. The Empress loving and nurturing. That may be why I said there may need to be some forgiveness if you so choose, if you so choose to take them back. Um, because the one thing you have to remember is the Empress and the Eight of Swords cannot live in the same house. The Eight of Swords means I'm not trusting my intuition, and therefore I put walls up. But what I want to remind you is your intuition is your saving grace. Your intuition, will send us a red flag or many red flags. It reminds me of some relationships I've been in where I definitely got those red flags, but I ignored them. Um, so here you are with the Empress's energy and the Magician above you, the Seven of Pentacles below you. It just seems like this year is going to be a year like no other. Like you may receive epiphanies, ideas out of the blue, and then you'll know exactly what to do with them. It's very spiritual. So I also have to say though, that means that the walls have come down. It doesn't mean that you're automatically saying yes, if you say yes at all. It just means that your intuition is going to let you know. This Eight of Swords is a self created prison. And because it's self created, you are the only one who can uncreate it. They can't bring down these walls. Your guides can't bring down these walls. Though they can make the sun, like, peek in. I have a feeling these two have had previous lives together. Because I feel like there could be an opportunity to clear some karmic ties. And and I don't mean that this person is a karmic soulmate, that they could be. I really feel that this is about, well, I feel like they just haven't caught up to you as your vibration goes. And I feel like, because I feel like there's old wounds that this person is having a hard time healing. I don't think they come in and you're like, yay, where you been? So good to see you again. I mean, maybe. What I feel is because I do feel like they are going to come in. And I feel like you're going to be like, well, slow down, you move too fast. But listen, the Magician and the Empress, if this is what you want, and they truly are working on their spiritual selves, trying to clear some of these karmic ties that have followed them, I do feel like, I feel like once you seek the light, you will find the light. And I do get the sense that this person feels deep down like you could be my forever person. Now, do I feel you feel that? I feel you did. I feel that you probably are still in love with them, but I do not feel like this is going to be easy. But it is doable. I definitely feel forgiveness is going to have to be part of it. And, that means someone saying they're sorry. And I feel like some of you are going to accept that. And why are you going to accept that? Because you're going to be able to feel it. You're going to be able to feel if it's the truth or not. I do feel like it's the truth. But then again, I want you to listen to your own intuition. And, oh, there's that. Look at that. There's that drama. There's that fighting. A lot of ego. And, it's interesting because Sam and I are going to do a podcast today. And we're talking about our relationship. Not that this is what I wanted to do, but many of you have been asking. So I thought, let's just do a podcast on it. So him and I are going to sit down, just have a conversation, and talk about our love life. And let me tell you, in our love life, we've had some of these. You know what I mean? Um, and the reason why I'm saying this is we were together and then broke up. Now, it was 40 years after the fact when he reached back out. And this was nothing I expected whatsoever. Did not expect it, wasn't even thinking about it, but yet it happened. And it happened in divine timing. And I'm telling you this because this is what I feel here. You know what I mean? Like back when you first met, your heart chakra could have been activated. Maybe it just wasn't meant to be then. And temperance is all about divine timing. So, again, if you so choose, because I do feel like, let's just put it this way, if they can find the boldness or the balls, then I feel like they'll reach out. If they can get past their fear, I feel is more what your reaction will be. Well, she or he just shut me right down. You have every reason to. But if there's still love, then I just get the sense that this can turn around. Especially if you feel like you're in the Empress's energy. And again, I'm not saying it has to be. It's interesting because I feel like who I'm reading for today, it's like if it comes, it comes. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But in the meantime, I'm doing my thing. I feel like a small little message to you also, though, is don't forget to have some fun. And I'm not even talking about them. I'm just talking about in your life. Like, make sure that you're carving out some time to have some fun. I feel like you are growing leaps and bounds within your creative house, but yet, like, have some fun also. Okay. What do I want to do? I think what I'm going to do is going to bring out the major arcanas because I don't want to do the whole reading. But I want to bring out the major arcanas to get an idea of really the main energy. You know what? I didn't cut these. And the reason why I cut them is, to me, it's just introducing a new deck into an existing reading. So I wanted to continue on, if that makes sense. And look how fast we get a card. The Hangman. Well, that makes sense. But again, what is the Hangman doing? Hangman is seeking wisdom to use on this earthly plane. Same thing he's doing in the Hermit, he or she. Judgment. Wow. Your spiritual teams. And they're calling you both to attention. They're calling you both to the present moment. And what does judgment speak about? A rebirth. A rebirth. This will come through your intuition. Another reason why that Eight of Swords does not serve you. Because you may miss that sign. Now, do I think your guides will send it again? I do. And I think they'll keep sending it. But if you completely deny it, then they know it. You know what I mean? But it's interesting because it's like your spiritual team looking right back at the Hangman, and it feels like it's saying, this is the time to make that decision. This is the time to make that next move. Whatever happens, happens. But I feel like it's speaking more to this person. It is speaking to you also, but with you being represented as the Empress now, I feel like you are in the present moment. And I feel it's more about them. Like, and again, they were seeking this spiritual wisdom. And boy, are they receiving it. So judgment talks about what's happening in the present moment. Definitely pointing out that again, this person is seeking wisdom. All right, let's see if anything else wants to come out. The Death card. Okay. First of all, card of Scorpio. The Death card talks about transformation. And it's interesting because it's coming with judgment, which is about a rebirth. The Death card, I feel like what it's saying is the energy of the past would have to be cleared to give the two of you the best shot possible. Because if the past energy seeps into the current energy, then do we just repeat? You know, the Death card means the door has closed and a new door is opening. But here's what I'm feeling. I'm feeling this new door that's opening is this person in a higher vibration now. I don't feel like it came easy. Part of me feels like they did it for you. But then as they were seeking, they found more than they ever expected. Like, I feel like all of a sudden, this person who I feel like didn't have a spiritual bone in their body becomes like, well, actually, I feel like this would also be great energy of collaboration because there's something about their journey and how they got to where they are today. And I know some of you are like, I don't really care. But for those who do, I feel like this is an important component because if this has an opportunity to come back together, and if that is what you want, you know, let's just put it this way: your guides know what it is you want, and your guides will help you reach that. But you have free will, they have free will. And that's the one place our spiritual team can't interfere is our free will. Eight of Swords is free will. Two of Swords, free will. Really, all of it is free will. Okay. Um, it's interesting because the death card now is over that Ten of Swords. So, does that have to come to an end? Absolutely, 100%. 100%. And I feel like you're receiving the energy also of like allowing yourself to be in that playful state. And that may just simply mean just be open to the possibilities. Again, if you so choose. Like I feel like if you have no interest in this person, then I'm not sure. Then I feel like you probably would have left already. All right. So anything else want to come out? Okay, we'll let that be. And let's bring out the romance angels. And then we'll let this be. And by the way, I just did yesterday. I just released it today though. A pick a card love reading. And it was stunning. Each one of them. And I say pick a card, but it's truly pick a reading because I did three. I put two up, three. Um, and each one of them is like 30 minutes long. So that's why I say pick a reading. But the reason why I'm saying that is it was all about soulmates, twin flames, and karmics. All right. Surprise, surprise. Let go of control issues. Allow the situation to unfold naturally. And then look at this. I felt this right from the get go. Playfulness. To recapture, oh my gosh, to recapture romance, allow your inner youthful spirit of fun to shine. So just allow it to unfold naturally. Trust your intuition because if there is going to be a red flag, you'll get that red flag, and the Empress will see that red flag. But I have a feeling there won't be a red flag. I just have this feeling. Engagement. Wow. Your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment. Okay. Well, I felt this past life relationship. You have known each other before. That may be why it's hard to, like it's hard to end a relationship with a past life love. But there may be something that the two of you in a past life. Interesting, because I just added a new service where I do past life readings or your 2026 spiritual horoscope. You can choose either or. It's only 22 bucks. But I'm loving them. I love doing them. But the reason why it just brought that to mind, past life relationship. Your love life is ascending to a higher level. Allow it to unflow naturally. Express your love. Go ahead and make that romantic gesture. So, long story short, I feel like I have two wise old souls here. I definitely feel the hermits are representing this lifetime, but also your past lifetimes. I feel like something happened in a past life where it was left uncompleted. Whether you definitely met, you definitely loved, but maybe for whatever reason, you couldn't be together. Like you were, how do I say this? Like maybe you had to see each other on the side. And by the way, I have a whole library of past life readings. Just look under the playlist. Um, and I'm saying that because I have a feeling you'll find your story here or in one of them also. And it almost feels like the last one I did. So, you know, I was just about to say, why can't you get this person off your mind? Well, in a way, I feel like you did. Or let's just say you pushed them to the back of your mind and you've been building up your life. And I feel like this is something you should be very proud of, even if you're just beginning. This is very supportive energy of your spiritual path. But listen, they have the same opportunities to evolve spiritually. And I do feel like it took them to fall down to their knees to really start seeking that light. But once they start seeking that light, they will find it. They will find the clarity. I feel like, next, what they have to do is become a little bolder. You know what I mean? Like, because I feel the fear that lies within them is number one, they know what they did wrong, and I'm not going to put everything on them because I don't feel like that's fair. Um, but yeah, I mean, the swords were in you, but I can't help but just feel, like I feel like this is my fellow soul brother. And I feel like I was a lost soul who is finally finding my way. You guys are here to either finally complete this, let it go, or to forgive and to love again. So, polar opposites. But you feel like you're in the energy where Whatever you choose, I feel like is the right decision for you. But I feel like they're coming back into the picture, and I feel like they're coming back in the picture in December. Here's why. Because I feel like the ultimate decision is going to be made in December. This person is either going to move with me into this beautiful next 9 years, starting with the magician. Because remember, it's all about a clean slate. And if they are going to be part of this next chapter, chances are it will be forever. Or some of you are just saying no thank you. It's over. And that's that. So in a way that wraps up that karma. But I feel like it could go either way. And it feels it's more up to you and what you want. Everything is showing you in this victorious state. It's also showing that you're the one who took a lot of the hurt. That you are past life lovers. Your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment. Let it just unfold naturally if you choose to go forward. Playfulness. I know that it's important. I felt it from the very get-go. And then the ability just to express your love. Well, that's what the Empress does. And listen, she doesn't love just anyone. It is important to her that whoever I love has a high vibrational energy. Because I am not in the job to fix people, so to speak. I feel like you're definitely in the job of helping. But when I say fix people, I mean like fixing them. Because you're not meant to. They needed to find this out themselves. That was part of the journey. That was part of their soul's lesson. And then what you do is up to you. But, I just truly see this. It's either going to end and it's going to end for good. But I feel like you're making that decision. Or it's going to come back together. You're going to allow it. And I do feel like, and by the way, your intuition, this is why it's so important that you pay attention to your intuition and don't put up these walls. Your intuition is your GPS. It is your guiding light. And you're sitting right next to the sun. So you have complete illumination. You have victory and success. But past life loves and two hermits, to me, makes perfect sense. All right. I think I'm just going to let that be because I feel like now we're at the point where each just has to decide for themselves. Um, but, everybody does have the same opportunity to evolve, and that's what our souls came here for. And sometimes like, what helps us to evolve are some of the hardest lessons. If you're able to forgive, whether you decide to go forward or not, like, that's a beautiful sign of where your energy is at. And it just means that you're not willing to carry the heaviness into the year of the magician. You're not meant to. And that's another reason why we're seeing these hermits. Like this is coming to, well, it's either going to be or it's not going to be. Okay. And I'm going to let that be. So, thank you guys. I don't even know if I'm going to call this like a no contact because I kind of get it. I mean, I do get it, but like I see both sides of the coin. I really do. But I want you to follow your own truth, and I want you to ask yourself, do you feel like you're in the Empress's energy? Which means you kept your heart open. Doesn't mean you give it away to anyone. Quite the opposite. The Empress trusts her intuition above everything else. If it feels right, I'm going to take a step into it. If it doesn't feel right, then I trust that. And that's that. But the power that you have that's lying in your hands for 2026 is quite beautiful. There are some seeds that were probably pre-planted, and this may be one of them. This person, Seven of Pentacles, tells you. I often feel the Seven of Pentacles are like an apple tree, or let's say your garden. You plant certain seeds, but then it takes time, right, for that seed to develop, to turn from a seed into flower. So this is what the patience is about. It's tending to your own garden, and whatever you tender, whatever you care for is what will grow. But boy, do I feel like the two of you, well, I know you've lived past lives together, but this feels like these seeds of intention are coming to fruition. And again, some of you is so you can clear it for good, and others, I guess it depends on the way this person shows. Because for others, I feel like this turns into the rest of your life. The moon under the Empress dreaming. The Eight of Cups under the Magician. Emotional clarity. That's good. That means no matter what, you are finding emotional clarity. And some of you literally are walking away from this. And that's your clean slate. Than others. It's going to be one or the other. I don't know how else to say it. It's going to be one or the other. And what I would say is give this person an opportunity to speak their mind, to speak what they have to say, and then make a decision. But I do feel some of you are just going to shut that door. And I am not here to try to talk you into going one way or another. I'm just here to present the story. All right, I'm going to let that be. Boy, I'm thinking, what am I going to title this? Because it doesn't really, I mean, it is no contact, but in a way, like the time apart feels like without that time apart, there may have not been this emotional growth within both of you. Like you might not have started a creative project, but you did. So the time apart, even though I know how difficult it is, I feel like it really has served you. Okay, I'm still talking. I love you guys. I thank you. Um, I hope you tune in for Sam and I's podcast. I think I'm going to call it The Love Story of Sam and Sandy. All right. I love you guys. I'll talk to you soon. Bye bye.